back take from top when your opponent set up the one leg X like this, and he underhooked the leg. Yes, so we worked in a position last night when the opponent go just like as an ankle lock, okay, like this, okay. But sometimes you also underhook your leg, like this, okay. So first thing I need to do here is to put this leg, okay, the leg that's between my legs, on top of my thigh, okay? That's the first thing I need to do, all right? If I drop my knee on the floor here, it's gonna be hard for me to do that. Plus your opponent can sit up and sweep you, okay? So you gotta be on your feet right here. You can control this hand right here, okay, just to give you some stability, base, and also to prevent your opponent to control the other leg, okay? If you're not controlling this hand right here, if you keep your leg close to his hips, he can grab your legs and then start sweeping, right? So in order to have a good balance here, I like to control this hand, be on my feet, and I'll turn 90 degrees from him, okay? Don't face to him, face outside, okay? Use this C grip here, like this, pushing his leg down, stepping out, and now look, I'll rest over his leg right here, okay? I put all my weight on my leg that's on top of him, okay? I'm pushing with the outside leg, okay? Don't keep like this, okay? With your hips away from his knee. So your hamstring needs to touch his hamstring right here behind his knee, okay? And now look, I'm 90 degrees here, but I face a little bit more like this way towards his hips, okay? So now I can let go of his hand, and I control and make this grip here, okay? Using my forearm behind his knee, okay? Don't grab just with the hand, and try to use the whole forearm, bend your arm like this, and then start stacking your opponent, okay? We work in a position that we lay down and then we start scrambling to take the back, but because my opponent have the underhook on my leg, okay, sometimes it's hard for me to work on that, okay? If he's not controlling my leg is free here. The position that I showed you guys last night, it was putting my knee right here, okay? My right knee under his thigh, okay? And I need to be with the outside of this knee here, touching his belly, okay? When I fall, so I have the knee there, so I start getting the Kimura trap. But on this case here, he underhook, and it's hard for me to bring my leg towards me, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step my leg over his head, okay? Because I cannot bring my leg, hold my leg, I cannot bring my leg this way, okay? But I can also pass my leg this way here. So I'll step over his head, okay? Since I have this arm here, so it's hard for me to bring my leg back, okay? So I step over his leg, okay? Go back. Again, so I'm here, control his sleeve, C grip, step out, put the weight on him. Now I start stacking, okay? Now I'm gonna pass my leg over his head, step over, okay? And to be able to do that, I make a transition of my weight really fast. I put the weight on this leg really fast, just to step over his head. Okay, now I go back with my weight on this leg here. Now what I'm gonna do, it's very important to keep your knee always outside. You don't want his thigh over your thigh like this. Because if that happens, you're gonna start putting on 50-50. Okay? So as soon as you step over, keep your knee out and push his knee towards the floor. Okay? Now with my outside leg, the leg that was behind his hip, I'm gonna knee cut here over his thigh like this, and I'll sit over him. So I'll be on this position here. Okay? Once I got here, I'm gonna start putting my armpit on top of his armpit, open his elbow, control his pants. Now look, pass his guard, step over, and then I use my my ribs against his face. Look how heavy I am on his cheek right here. Forcing Mike to face outside. Okay, try to face to me. He can't, right? So don't stay like this when you get the north-south. Then your opponent is gonna start moving, okay? So always put your weight on him, okay? Use your toes on the mat and your head right on between his chest and belly. Not much on his belly, okay? Like more on the chest than the belly. Okay, so we pass the guard. This first technique, we're just gonna pass the guard. Okay, again. So I'm on one leg X. If you might control my pants right here, I control the collar first, break his grip, cross grip, sit grip, step out, use my weight on him. Okay. Look how I push his leg using my hips, my butt. Okay, now I start covering building the shield, make a transition really fast, stepping over his head. Okay, keep my knee out. Now look, I'm gonna knee cut over his body. Here, putting my hands on the floor, sliding on his chest. My armpit needs to be over his armpit. Okay, now I get take the outside leg, the top leg, step over, pushing his leg, scooping my hips out, using my weight on his face, passing the bottom leg under the top leg, and get a nice north-south. Okay, close your elbows really tight. Okay, and sometimes your opponent will bridge. When he bridges, I like to go with my hand under his body and control his body like this, just to establish the position. Once he stops moving, then I can start working different things. I can go back to side control. Okay, I can try to mount. Okay, so don't try to move before he stops moving. Okay, make sure you're secure, safe, and be safe on top. Over time, so I'm here. Okay, sometimes you can make the hook here like this, right? When we do this, if you keep your leg open, you can close your knees, okay? And make sure you never put this on the floor. Make sure you don't do that. Because every time I do this, I give opportunity for you to sit up, okay? So if I need to rest, I hold this arm and I can rest like this, okay? So now it's a little bit harder for you to come up, then I go back. Okay, but try to be on your feet, okay? So I'm here, okay? Using the pressure of my top leg here, my leg that's on his chest, like this, it's gonna be hard for him to get the X guard. You know, let's say if you say, oh professor, if you have the X guard, the regular X guard, like this, okay? So you can still doing the same thing. You push this leg and just move around. It's easy for you to pass his guard, okay? Sometimes you want to deal with the top leg, but I think if you just go as a C grip here and push down and step out, look, you can easily pass the guard. Your knee cut over his shoulder, and then you establish the side control, okay? But my opponent is smart, so he's gonna block my hip here, okay? If you control my pants, break his grip, step out, you have the leg on the way, and stack it. Make the transition really fast. Put the weight on my outside leg, boom, so I step over, and now look, I'm gonna knee cut, pushing his hips on the floor here, boom, like this, okay? Armpit on his armpit, why? Because I don't want him to frame, okay, or push me towards this way, so I'm open him, step over, my rib on his face, turn around. You see that his face sometimes can be turned to you like this? Try to scoop your hips up under his face and make him look to the other side. Boom. Putting a lot of pressure, forcing him to face the other way. Okay? You guys got it? No, that's different. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. one of your 3 questions. Yeah, so if you have the ankle lock right here, I can use the technique I showed last night. Okay, so I go here. I'm not gonna step over, but I'm just gonna put my knee here, and I'm gonna lay down this way. Now I start reaching his arm, and start going for the scramble. Okay, I can go for a twister, start attacking his back. Okay. So I break his rib. Control. If I turn all the way this way as well, okay, I can work with my outside leg to push his arm down and take my heel out. And once my heel is out, look, I can bring my leg this way here. I hop over him. I can do that as well. Okay, once I'm here, I pass his guard. Same thing, little bit different. Go. Let's say if you feel, if you feel that it's really hard for you to go for the scramble position, I call it Pretzelbolo. You go here, you turn as much as you can. So you pulse your hand on the floor, and then you use this leg to push, to push your heel out. Once your heel goes out, you step both feet to the other side, but my right leg here, I'm gonna go over his belly, look, like this, and I face it and not put the weight on him. Then remember that I show you guys the scrambles here. You can scramble as well if you don't want to pass his guard. So you can use different variations. A little more question? Yes.
Yeah, so when you're in that kind of like the situation from on top where you're going over, you're passing the leg, Nikki always gives me something.
You mean when I'm here, leg drag?
So you pass
like this?
Yeah, you already passed that. No. When you were like so go in the position.
This?
So you pass the bottom leg. You pass that leg, yeah. And then you go here, and then you drag that leg across.
Like this?
Yeah, you were there, and then she'll get me there.
Yeah,
Like
because
when I'm trying to, if I were to try to pass that leg over the head, she always like attack me.
because you need to really push here, the leg and the hips, like pull the hips up, like stacking the position, the person on bottom here. Okay. And now look, when I step the leg over, I keep my knee out. Look, you see? I can even look, if I want, like especially in Ogi, this hand right here, go behind my hamstring and underhook his arm. And then I start like facing to him like this. Like Nogi, it's easier to do that because it's very slippery. But sometimes they hold your pants or your collar. Sometimes you're not able to do that. But as long as you keep your leg outside here, so as long as you step out and you keep your knee out like this and you sit, look. Because if I stretch like this, that's when he goes for the knee bar. See? So I need to sit on his leg here and pop my knee out. Okay? So you can like just like kick this leg out, because right now if you hear your opponent maybe is gonna start fighting, right? Like start fighting with me, like start fighting with you. He's pushing me. If he's pushing me good, look, I pass my hand here, go over, and then I pass his guard. You know, I can do this if I don't want to do the scrambles. So, step over, look, sit. Okay, now knee cut. And sometimes it's gonna be hard for you to knee cut like this because you close the elbow. Sometimes you close the elbow over my leg. Like this, it's hard. So you can like pass his leg over here first, and then knee cut. Okay. Okay? Just keep put pressure. Alright, let's work on that. 1, 2, 3. After I get a position here, for the one leg X. So you got one leg X here, you underhook my leg. So I push him out, I make the transition of stepping over, okay? I can go with my knee this way, here, okay? Or I can simply like step over inside like this, you know, and then start like sliding. Okay, if you feel it's hard for you to go with the knee cut, you can step over his body. Yes.
When I'm stepping over, I feel like I lose my balance and I kind of almost fall forward.
Uh-huh. So that's why you need, yes, that's why you need to keep this stack here. Because he's gonna be moving, oh my, he's gonna be like trying to move you here. So you step over, okay? Keep this stack here, this hand right here. And then you go like this. And after you put your leg inside, now you can let go and start sliding. You know? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, so you gotta keep holding the hips the whole time. I cannot step over. Like, I cannot let go here and try to step over because Mike's gonna start moving and then he got a calf slides on me like this, okay? So I need to keep stacking. So I keep my hand here, I step over, here, now I let go. And when you step over, you don't need to step over like perfectly with your foot here. You can step over with your leg here too. And then just put the side of your thigh on him like this. Okay? Yes.
You land like your height, you stand like you step over. So you can roll to the back from there.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of scrambles there.
Instead
of like passing, yeah. So if you need more sponsors, you can go for this scramble. If you're already like fulfill your sponsorship, like you're happy, you just step over and set the guard. Right. But what I mean, I'm here, look, and I can use my bottom leg to lift his hips up and then boom, scramble and take his back. Or I can even do the kind of like a Pretzelbolo, like after I'm here, I'm gonna do this position, okay? I can roll myself, and I use the roll usually when the person bottom frame. Like if you don't let me push his elbow up like this, frame your elbows on my body like this. So now look, it's hard for me. If I pass the guard, it's the possibility of Mike escape and even take my back here, right? Because he protects himself with the forearms, right? So I feel that when that happens and I'm here, okay, I can roll. But when I roll, my bottom leg needs to be always in touch with this belly here. And then I start doing the position that we worked like last night, okay? But now to keep things more simple and just to make you understand the technique, this is the basic part. Just stepping over and going for the notch style, passing the guard, okay? We're gonna work when I teach again, okay? Because I go for a trip. But after that, I'll come back and show you guys a bunch of scrambles from there, okay? Yes?
Just when you're starting in position, do you sometimes feel like it's necessary to push the foot that's on the hip from single leg X? Or you just...
No, I don't feel, because I'm using my butt on his calf, like on his hip, my hips actually on his calf. So once he, get the underhook, like this? Like you mean this?
Or you know how like if you push it inside? So like
This leg or what?
Yeah.
Like this way?
Yeah.
No, because look, I put my weight here and turn, look. I'm actually facing this way, you know, facing to his hips. And because my hips is on his calf, look, it's a little bit hard for Mike to attack. The attacks will come only if I keep him with the hip off the floor. If I start pushing like sideways, look, I start like pushing sideways. You see that? Like pushing sideways here. But before that, I gotta step over and then pushing sideways. Look, try to square again, Mike. Oh, don't let him square, I'm pushing him. I'm using my elbow here, my thigh, my elbow to push his hips, like sideways here, okay? So if I step over his head and I keep his hips like this, he's still able to attack me, especially the calf slides. Especially if I don't put too much weight. Go for the calf slides, like look, like this, okay? So you need to like do this, okay? So you can use this position also. Turn on. if you're here and then your opponent's playing spider guard, a really strong spider guard, okay? You put yourself on the position, look, like this. And you use your hips to take his leg off your biceps, push, and then start getting the position. So step over. Okay, if I can go for the knee cut, great. If I can, I just step over and put my weight on him. Once I put my weight on him, look, even before I step my leg over, I'm already putting pressure on, using my rib against his face. Look, see? I'm always putting that pressure because I understand that if I want to fulfill the pass, I need to control the head of my opponent, either with my arm, or with my hips, or with sometimes with my thigh, sometimes with my ribs. I gotta make sure that I allow him to move just one side, not both sides. Okay? Again. So I'll be here. It's the same position, just start from the spider. And when you step over, don't step over and stay straight like this, because then he's gonna grab your ankles and sweep you. Okay? So you're gonna step over and then put your weight. See my hip? Boom. And at the same time, I'm putting the weight on this leg. I'm bringing this leg. I put my hand a little bit behind his calf. I bring his leg like this. Now I pop this hand here to break his grip. So once I break the grip, I control, make the transition of the weight. Look, one step over, pushes it. Okay, now I can go for the knee cut or stepping over. Okay. If Mike controls this leg, control the leg really hard here, it's hard to step over. It's hard to go into the knee cut. Then you can use the other position that I show you guys. From here, I underhook his arm, and now turn on. And now look, I'm gonna bring this leg here, and then I start moving this way, passing his guard. Okay, it's like a reverse knee cut. Okay, so you knee cut the other way instead of going forward, you go towards the back. Just if you really like trap your leg. But if he's trying to push you during the fight, sometimes he tries to push you, then you can go for the knee cut or for the step over. But if you feel like trapped, use the knee cut. And it's so easy to do. Just pass your hand behind your leg, underhook his arm, slide the leg forward, and knee cut facing to him. So, spider guard, step over, wait, push his legs out, step over his head, step over here, now press his leg. Okay. Step over, push out, step over his head. Okay, he trapped my arm, trapped my leg with his arm. I can't move this leg. Okay, other hook. I go for the facing to him. You surprise your opponent. Okay, any question? All right, let's work. Okay, 1, 2, 3.